you caught me. Hey guys, welcome back to Free My Cure. I again, of course, am Nicola. I think that's who I am. Yeah, that's who I am. My book says so. So, one thing that I have not done yet this year is kind of recap what happened last year as far as cannabis industry goes. And we really had some good victories this last year. And so far, 2018 is really kind of starting to look pretty good as far as cannabis goes. So, let's recap some of these news stories for 2017. Well, in 2016, 4 states legalized adult use of marijuana. So that was a good thing. So, for 2017, Canada stems towards legalization. Woohoo! You go, Canada! While Jeff Sessions and other federal officials in the U.S. spat venom at state legalizations, Canada's Prime Minister, Parliament, and provincial governments all moved to end cannabis prohibition. Good job. That is amazing, Canada. Mexico also announced that they will also will allow infused medical cannabis products in their country. So that is absolutely amazing. 2 countries that are really coming together to see what cannabis can actually do for not only the people of their country, but for their country themselves. That's amazing. Of course, the second one is Nevada opens up the use of recreational, which is amazing. July 1st at midnight, they were able to use the retail stores to get rid of, or to sell cannabis, which is pretty amazing. The Las Vegas, I think that one was actually, the cannabis campground in Las Vegas ended up getting canceled this next year, so let's hope and see what happens in 2018. Hopefully everything will work out well. That would be nice. Now, this by far has got to be 2017's best story yet. And yes, I am going to show the man, Jeff Sessions himself. Love ya. Jeff Sessions bark, but doesn't bite. We learned 2 things about U.S. Attorney Jeff Sessions in 2017. He really hates cannabis. Oh, hey, Sketchy, how you doing? So, yes, as you guys know, we have also sent our letter off to Mr. Sessions, letting him know our stamp on cannabis and how we feel about it. And he's not real happy about it, I will tell you that. So he spent most of the year making snidey remarks, trying to go after legalized cannabis states. I do also believe there's an 11 or 12-year-old suing him at the moment, which will be amazing to watch because those court proceedings have started. So that is amazing. So I hope you guys are watching. I will be posting updates on that particular case because I know I'm peeled. Because Sessions, you're wrong. I'm sorry, buddy, but cannabis is helping thousands of people every day. And more people are learning about cannabis on a daily basis. They're visiting channels like mine. They're visiting websites like mine. They're learning from other patients that, you know, there are other ways of doing it. And cannabis helps. So let's see what else we have going on here. So number 4 is Germany and Mexico legalize medical cannabis. Woohoo! See, and that's where the federal needs to come. Watch out. If Mr. Sessions can gnaw on your ankle for an hour, he might break the skin. He might. But I'm not too worried about the dentures as much. And to be honest with you, I really would like an audience with Mr. Sessions. I would like an adult conversation about cannabis with him. I would like to know more. I would like to get to know a little bit more about why he's so upset with cannabis and why cannabis is such a bad thing. So I'm more curious if it's cannabis itself or if it's because he's involved with, you know, big pharma and the prison system and whatever, and he sees this as not being profitable. I'm not sure, who knows, but I would like to have that intelligible conversation about it. Error roll, yeah. You know, it is. It's sad. It's that whole reefer madness phrase here. And it's very, very sad because it's a plant. I always go back to the little cartoon strip that you see with the police raiding in on a house, and they're saying in the little bubble above, you better be sitting there holding a plant calmly. So I'm holding my plant calmly. Yeah. So I'm holding my plant calmly. I don't see where that plant is hurting. So I would like that conversation with him. So Toronto to Tijuana supply chain, Mexico to allow imported medical marijuana edibles in 2018. That's pretty amazing for Germany and Mexico. That's good. California and Massachusetts prep for 2018 and all of the controversy that it has. Again, recreational cannabis is now legal in California as of, I believe it was midnight, January 1st. So, woohoo! State legalization, a success at the 5-year mark. Now that is an amazing thing. We've had a system in place now for 5 years someplace on this whole cannabis system, and it's working. Let's look at that a moment. This is a cash business. So the amount of taxes that the government is profiled to make off of cannabis sales alone would help this deficit. Yeah, it would pay it. It would help house some of our veterans, some of our homeless. It would give jobs to, again, some of our veterans and our homeless. It's a thriving industry. This is a huge part of what America is made on, Mr. Sessions. I'm sorry to say, but Mr. Sessions, please refer to the Constitution. You know that wonderful article that was signed in 1776 or something like that? Check it out. It's kind of a good read. If you don't understand it, there's a wiki link that I can send you that breaks it down in plain English. Happy to help. So, number 8. Oh, Colorado and Washington. Oh yeah, and this is mostly going into this year, into 2018's federal budget. They are denying Department of Defense spending in certain states right now because of Sessions' last announcement on cannabis prohibition. Let me see, what did Davey say? To be fair, there are bills in Congress and Senate. Yes, there are, which is amazing. We are now seeing senators and congressmen stand up and make these bills for us, to help us, to protect us, to keep us safe while we heal, which is amazing. And that's something that I personally would like to thank my government officials for. You've listened to us. You've heard us. You've heard what we the people have been saying, that we don't want to be hooked on opioids anymore. We don't want to be alcoholics anymore. Yes, we want to be stoners. And yes, it has a bad stigma to it. But let me remind you of a few stoners that are amazing people. They have huge, huge hearts. And, you know, they're stoners. You know, Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg. These are great people. These are great examples of celebrities that have been able to use cannabis and become advocates to something. Yes, they've used other things in the past. They've agreed they don't like it. There's other stuff that goes on. Being in the public eye like they are has got to be very, very difficult. And so cannabis would be a very relaxing way of being able to get out of that skin. And I accept that, and I understand that. When I go home, I want to be able to smoke and relax and get out of my own head sometimes, because that's what it allows me to do. If I'm always in my head, I can't help anybody else. So that's what we as stoners are fighting for. We're not fighting for the right to get high in public. Granted, I would prefer to smell cannabis in public than I would cigarette smoke in public, personally. But the stigma's got to change. We're good people. Oh, yeah. The tainted product Mars Cannabis Market had, yeah, that was a bad one. And they fixed it, so I'm not going to say anything bad. They did fix it. It was a hard one. It does happen, grows. Anytime you're working with nature, you've got to be very, very careful. When you're, I mean, some people have a green thumb, some people don't. Sorry, but that's just the way it works. Some people know how to make that plant look better than I can, and some people know how to kill that plant better than I can. It's just how we are. So I'm not here to diss on anybody. I'm not here to diss on any dispensary, any caregiver. That is not what I'm here for. I am here to give you the truth. This is what cannabis does for me. This is how I feel when I use it, and this is what's going on in the world. Enjoy. Conservatives join the cannabis cause, which I find is amazing. Yes, this last year alone, the amount of conservatives that have pulled over from the other side of being from being cannabis prohibitionists to being pro-cannabis have been amazing. Oh, absolutely. First Nations peoples always used cannabis first. They did. And you know, cannabis was used as a medication even for Western medicine 100 years ago. Up until 100 years ago. So please understand that. Cannabis has been around for a very long time. And it's going to be around for a very long time. Trust me. It'll be there. So, yeah, I'm just thrilled at the amount of conservatives. And that's really all Leafly had on their top cannabis news. But there is another one that I would like to say as far as my top cannabis news is that I have got to meet so many amazing people that have cured their cancer with the aid of cannabis. I have met so many people that have aided their pain, relieved their pain with cannabis, getting away from opioids altogether. And I congratulate those people, every one of them. I am amazed. Yeah. And I honestly, I can just see the future of cannabis at this point. I can see the amount of jobs it's gonna provide. I can see the amount of medicine it's gonna provide. I can see the amount of people it's gonna bring together. Because nobody likes to really smoke alone. We like to smoke together. We like to talk and chat and have fun and laugh and, you know. So I see this as becoming a community. So how do we make this community stronger? Well, I have a couple of ideas. Let's share as many of these videos as possible. Not only my videos, everybody's videos. All of these patients that have done weed reviews online. Let's share them out there. Let's get this knowledge to all of these people. let's let people know that this is what cannabis does for us. Maybe we can just help one person. And from there, they help one person. And you see how it goes. I don't think I need to like sum it up anymore for you. You're pretty smart people. You're watching me. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. So, that is it for today. Yay, cannabis! I really would love to see 2018 exceed these expectations of mine personally. I don't know if it will, because I have some pretty high expectations. But I really see some good things in the future, guys. I really do. And for those of you that aren't into smoking cannabis, because I know there's several of you out there